Hello Cookie Runners! Welcome to OvenDrawing Episode 4 Special Halloween Edition. If you don't know how OvenDrawing works, check the card in the top right of this video to watch the first episode. And also, we posted a teaser for the episode a couple days back, so please go watch it if you haven't, because it kinda explains how we're gonna get into the theme, which is actually pumpkin cookie. It's kinda obvious. Halloween, pumpkin, yeah. Alright, it's time to introduce the artist.
Hello everybody, this is Echinoderm. I'm starting quite quickly because this video originally was 4 minutes long.
Hello everybody, I'm Serenade here.
Oh shit, here we go again.
I'm so tired making this. Hello everyone, I am back. Yeah, Vio is back. For today, we're gonna be making pumpkins.
Hey everyone, this is Zone the Memoryverse again, and it's almost spooky season. And the recent OvenDraw prompt is pumpkins.
Hey guys, this is Sugar Skull, and I am here today for OvenDraw. Definitely new to me, and I've never done it before, but I hope this is a good experience. Follow me on Twitter at sugar_skulldraw.
Hey guys, I'm Diz, also called as the Sasura, and I'm here finally making my part from the OvenDraw.
Let's go 2 times a quarter. So for this round of OvenDraw, I got speckled glass pumpkin, and I had a lot of ideas, but I settled on this one.
Hello everyone, back again with Sola in another episode of OvenDraw. We're getting a little spooky with the theme this time, which is pumpkin.
Hello dearies, I am yours truly, Cream Unicorn Cookie, otherwise known as Spady Fate in the CRT Discord server.
And I am Levy, aka Levy Royale.
Today we have for you
Our spoopy OvenDraw. Boo.
Hey guys, it's Course with my first voice entry for OvenDraw. I'm here to explain the whole thought process behind my pumpkin cookie.
Hello, my name is Rar Noodles. You can call me Rar. Today I'm going to be doing my first OvenDraw. The pumpkin I got was the flat white boa pumpkin.
What is the scariest thing imaginable? Some might say it's this PNG I laid out right in front of you. I might say it's my first inspiration I got the minute I got my prompt. Why did I think pumpkin pushers were a good idea? Hey everyone, it's Blue here. This is my first OvenDraw I've ever done, so here's my spooky pumpkin-based goodie. I got a baby blue pumpkin when I was doing the little draw thing, so let's bake him into a cookie.
And that's everyone. So as you can see, we have a lot more artists this time around too. So the video is definitely going to be longer than the last one. And I wonder if this is going to be a trend in the next episode is going to have even more. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Let's just hope it doesn't reach 1 hour or something. I need to mention that there was a twist for this episode specifically. Basically, you have to roll a wheel. You get a number from 1 to 25. And you get to pick a specific pumpkin for it. And you're gonna have to draw the cookie based on that pumpkin. Because why? There's a lot of pumpkins out there, I guess. But it's not forced. It's just optional. So it's a suggestion, basically, if you want to go with a pumpkin that was rolled for you, or you can just do your own. It's all good. So I did roll too, and this is the pumpkin that I got. The name is something that I cannot pronounce, so you're gonna have to ask the host for that or something. It's a really big pumpkin.
So starting off, you can already tell from the video that I was already drawing this character before it started. I didn't really have a thought process. This is one of my first cookies that I draw without concept art. Because he had no concept art, his details aren't that sharp or refined as my other cookies.
The theme chosen for this OvenDraw was pumpkin, which, fun fact, it was randomized. Meaning we had to basically get a randomized pumpkin for this theme to be exact. Luckily for me, I landed on the pumpkin that is called Golden Nugget. It is small to be exact, which it was actually an idea I was getting before the theme got revealed.
And I got a very funky blue pumpkin. Am I right? So we start off with the sketch, and this took me 5 hours and 26 minutes. Oh yeah, you see that specter over there? That's His friend? Yeah, that's his friend.
So I was assigned to my own pumpkin, the apple gourd. I did a little research on what it was, and I found some apple gourds that have those little black patterns, like the ones you see in watermelons. I don't know. So while I was designing the character, I found pictures of apple gourds without the stripes.
When making Tando pumpkin cookie, I went with a very simple base for a cookie pose. I went with beret and puffy hair for the pumpkin, a cute little sleeveless dress, gloves, and for the pet I did a little pumpkin jar that had her little utensils.
So at the beginning I was thinking on making some type of doll based on a pumpkin, but then the host told us that they were going to select our pumpkin for this oven draw. And I don't know if I'm lucky or unlucky because I got the knucklehead pumpkin. This was my reaction. Yeah, not the best reaction I ever had, but even so, I was very interested in what you do with that.
When I saw the picture of the pumpkin I got, I had this fancy vibe coming from it, so I wanted to slap the vibe on my cookie. If you look closely to speckled glass pumpkin's eyes, you will see that one of her eyes has a crystal-shaped pupil, but her closed eye has a crystal hanging just below it. That's because she's not actually a cookie and more like a mechanical doll.
Since this time the theme is assigned by the host, I was assigned with red curry pumpkin or red curry squash. I was unsure how I was going to do this since red curry squash looks pretty unremarkable compared to the other pumpkin types, but then I googled it and found out red curry squash is also commonly called Japanese squash. So now I have an excuse to make a fantastical Japanese themed cookie. Thanks again, Ako.
Yes, OvenDraw. A strand of events where beautiful things happen. Themes and dreams, where people draw their hearts away.
Very dramatic, Cream Unicorn. So this event is very interesting, mostly because instead of picking random pumpkins, we were told to roll and get a random number from 1 to 20. So different numbers depend on the kind of pumpkin we were chosen.
So I ended up getting the Delicata pumpkin, and Levi got the ornamental squash.
I first thought of making a pumpkin queen, but then a pumpkin king. I couldn't get any solid design ideas at all, but after looking at a certain image, I suddenly got a burst of inspiration. Like, what if I made a voodoo doll that looks like a pumpkin? I tried making the limbs more floppy and chunky looking, and to give it a more plushy look, and then started drawing the buttons. The round one came a little disproportionate, but I made it later, as you'll see.
So I first started up by picking up colors and making small sketches of what I might have wanted. After the first sketch, I wasn't pleased with it just yet and I was thinking maybe of a helmet of some sort, but it still didn't turn out very well, so then I decided to come up with more concepts and sketches until I was satisfied. I did so by getting another reference and I work from there.
The main ideas I ran into this that came to me first, besides that thing I showed you at the beginning, was scarecrows that were disguised as babies, actual scarecrows, and Pumpkinmon from Digimon. I also drew a little pet with this cookie. It's based off of a ghost crab, which kind of fits with the theme because spirits, pumpkins, Halloween, that sort of thing.
What can we do with this pumpkin? One thing that I kinda thought about is that because this is a really big pumpkin, so it could act like a dress or something. And then I thought maybe you could do like ballerina for the cookie. I'm gonna try to draw that somehow. So let's say this is the dress. Yeah, very good dress there. I think it's way too big for a little small screen. Let's move over here a little bit so we can have some space for the other submissions too. Okay, so now that's not very puffy, isn't it? Scared a little bit. Okay, we could do that. So this is quite interesting because usually I don't start in the middle of things like that. Usually I draw the body first and then kind of add on to it, but with this one, let's do it like this. Because hey, who cares anyway? So let's do the legs then. Ballerina usually cross the legs or like bend one of them up. I'm just gonna try to cross one of them. So let's try drawing that. This one's gonna stand and that one's gonna cross. Okay, that works. So now for the body, let's draw. See, this is the problem now. This whole thing is way too big, so we're not gonna have enough space for some of this. So hold on a second, I'm gonna shrink it down a little bit.
So with this cookie, I actually went with just the general idea that I had for him. He doesn't really have a story or much of a fleshed out personality. When I got the gourd, I was just like, okay, what the hell do I do with this? A few minutes later, I was certain what I was gonna do with the gourd. I decided that since October was approaching, I was gonna go for a more Halloween vibe. So I started researching all of the Halloween stories that go by.
With the theme that is mostly related to Halloween, would be a source of inspiration for this character. I opted to basically relate this character to one of my characters that has information on its own. But overall, it's a mess, but it's an interesting mess.
Continuing from what I said, so Jaradale Cat, which is his name, comes from a patch of pumpkins that a certain witch has created. And now we're moving on to shading. Very nice. It looks so cool.
So the concept I have for this OC is that I kinda inspired them out of the little girl from the Happy Halloween Vocaloid music and a bit of Midnight from Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope because oh my god, you pretty woman. So they are a ghost that possesses people for good intentions. Well, not good, semi-good. And that is eating candy. They love to eat candy, let me tell you that. They're a little but not harmful. Will give you cavities and a stomach ache. Well, stomach aches, plural, and a belly full of candy, but hey, it's not life or death, unless you are lactose intolerant.
The colors I went with a cute little green beret and yellow hair. Her dress looks like the Tondo pumpkin, with the pet being a little green pumpkin jar with her pencils and paintbrushes.
And after much thought, I decided to make a dead right cookie. Because, can I be honest, literally the idea, I got it thanks to my art teacher, so yeah. Also, I didn't use like a cookie or base of, unlike the other OvenDraws where I use cookies of the game and my own cookies. This time I only use as a base old drawing I had like for 2 years. Yeah? That idea just simply came out of my mind. I didn't even have to make sketches to have an idea of.
She was made during a Halloween where there was no trick or treat. No candy. It was just cold and sad. Until a craftsman made an animatronic to brighten the mood, and you know what? It bloody worked.
So as you can see by now, my pumpkin cookie is based on the Japanese mythological creature Tengu. Why Tengu of all things? It's a type of demon, so it fits the upcoming Halloween. The Tengu cookie has a bob haircut to resemble the pumpkin's shape, and instead of the small black colored headwear called tokin that Tengus are often depicted wearing, they are wearing a headwear in the shape of the pumpkin's stem, which makes their whole head looks like a pumpkin. Also, Tengu usually has a long nose, but cookies don't have visible noses, so I just gave my Tengu cookie a bird mask just to match with the bird theme and all.
Delicata Cookie, a witch who lives in the woods. Introverted as such, she's said to be unlucky, albeit that rumor being false since I've been with her once and I never really got ill or died. She's kind of nice actually. Her music suits animals and the atmosphere.
So, my cookie's name is Ornament Squash Cookie. She's a hostess of Thanksgiving and Halloween parties. She would include costumes and parties, and oftentimes host Halloween-themed masquerade balls, which is her most favorite thing to do.
It was originally gonna have another button knife, a different shape, but I ended up scrapping it. I thought to make visible incisions, one of them spelling out cotton, and I ended up being really happy with it. Since I generally saw many voodoo dolls with stitched hearts, I thought to get mine a pumpkin instead. Later, I replaced the shape button with a stitched edge and gave the head a more pumpkin-y shape, along with a stem.
As I was working down in the body, I was having trouble as to what the occupation at this point. However, for the pet, It was easy as I've decided for the pet to be a snake. I declared them as a rock climber, but I changed it cause I wasn't satisfied with how it looked, and plus it was starting to look like a certain character that started with Kim and end with Possible. So then instead I started conjuring up more sketches to see if I could find other ideas, so I decided maybe a hat with possible green hair. Or maybe earmuffs.
Originally, I thought the design was going to be a lot more frillier, but when I did the line art initially, it didn't really come out the way I wanted it to. While past me looks into getting another sketch down along with the colors, here's some lore I thought of during the process of making this.
Let's draw the head now. Okay. The head should work like that. Let's draw one of the hands like that and one of the hands like that. Oh, let's not go too overboard. Okay. Looks good. Let's draw it out like so. Okay, that's the base. This is the big pumpkin. Let's add something in like that.
Instead of just making a fancy pumpkin character, I decided I'm going to do something extraordinary. What if I make a cookie based off Xibalba, the Mayan god of death? It was such a far stretch, and I decided I'm gonna go all for it. So then I started searching up popular references of Xibalba. Upon first searching up, you can either get the actual Mayan art or the Xibalba interpretation from the movie The Book of Life. I liked The Book of Life when I was younger, so I went with the Book of Life's Xibalba.
The main idea for this character is to basically wear a mask while trying to basically scare someone to the point that they would just run away. Kind of like White Ghost to be exact on Bob and Break, but not too much.
And also I did the skill box thingy. And as I'm focusing on the skill box, I was trying to give it glowy effects. I don't think there's that in the CRK thingy, so I did that.
So they call them the candy gobbler, which parents will warn kids about this ghost who possesses kids who don't obey their parents and will start feasting on any candy or sweets they see. Maybe even other cookies? Nah, that's fake. Apple Gourd can't do that. Yet.
The colors are pretty simple. They didn't need to be too bland, but they weren't just right with each other. Little pattern for the Tondo pumpkin, part of the beret and the dress. All the colors are pretty simple. It's simple enough for me.
For the colors, I just picked random colors to fit in it, but still having the looking of a pumpkin. The only thing I had a main problem was the dress because, look, she's a bride. She wears usually a white dress, and making it just white, it will be difficult to see that she's a pumpkin. So I grabbed tones of green, tones of orange, and also gray to give the expression that her dress has been deteriorated thanks to the fire that killed her, like the years she has lived as a ghost.
But one day, Speckled Glass Pumpkin saw a child that was freezing in the snow. Now you must be thinking, Zenzu, that doesn't make sense. Why would it be snowing on Halloween? Don't ask, it's for dramatic effect. Let's just say it took place sometime else, hee hee. At that moment, Speckled Glass Pumpkin felt some kind of feeling of sympathy and eventually was able to move on her own and help the kid. Sometime later, the kid is actually a child of a wealthy family and they bought Speckled Glass Pumpkin. Attempts of the kid trying to tell their parents that Speckled Glass Pumpkin was the one who helped them had no use, but the family did in fact just buy Speckled Glass Pumpkin from the craftsman.
As for the outfit, I'm giving them traditional Japanese priest costume because based on my research, which is just googling, many artists depict Tengu in it, but the pumpkin's motifs are once again present in the costume, like how the sleeves and the pants are orange colored and have yellow lines like the pumpkin's skin. The inner sleeves are colored like the pumpkin's flesh, and also instead of pom-poms, I use tiny pumpkins for the dangling accessories. Tengu is often depicted holding a fan, so I give this Tengu cookie a fan in the shape of a pumpkin leaf with a tiny pumpkin at the base. It's probably my most favorite part of the look.
Enikata went to one of her masquerade balls, not expecting much. The hostess was dull to the parties. Same thing, boring. Then there, at that very party, a new friendship blossomed.
So, about the design process, I tried to figure out how to make all different varieties of ornamental squashes into one cookie. I researched about them and it states that they're meant as decor or display, not meant for eating. So I got the idea that my cookie will be, quote unquote, a living display, aka wearing a costume. That's kinda how I got my idea as a hostess of Halloween costume parties. And I already got the idea of her oven break skill, which is spamming buttons to keep the conversation going until the bar is full, and you get points. For Kingdom, however, I don't hecking know. So I just put her in magic, middle, and make her hat into a gigantic frisbee hammer.
When I was thinking of giving it a weapon, I thought to give it a knitting needle, one of those with the round top, but replace that top of a pumpkin, give it a darker color, and tie a few ropes around it. To top it off, I gave it a little effect thingy, I don't know what to call it, and then begins the coloring. I don't have much to comment here, but I'll try to add a little something. I gave it some pretty simple colors that I just give it the whole Halloween vibe, you know? I must say though, I did struggle with the colors of the ropes and neck as I made it either too pale, too dark, or just not fitting until I got just right shade.
I still didn't like it, so then I decided just to continue upon my initial sketch and just clean up a little more. I was afraid I wasn't getting the right flat pumpkin look, so I decided to fix the hair a bit and carve it up. I then started upon the body again. I wanted a firm and strong looking pose and posture and such, so at this point, I'm trying to figure out the clothes cause I want powerful looking clothes but also fashionable as well. I decided upon this little vest with shoulders off and nice shorts.
Baby Boo Pumpkin Cookie is not actually a cookie despite it being in the name, but he's actually a ghost from the land of the dead. He wants to prove to his fellow spiritual brethren that he too can be menacing. But it doesn't really work out for him since his ghost form is rather cutesy, as you can see here. So instead of just scaring folks as a ghost, he decides to take it one step further by going back to the land of the living and discovering the one thing that can truly make one scary. A scarecrow. It's in the name actually, so that's how it works. So now, with his newfound disguise, how much more scarier can he be? Well, I still think he looks kind of adorable, but in a little dorky way. But still, he's scarier now.
The hair. You know, me like to be basic, so that's as basic as you get. Maybe, let's do something like this. And a little point out at the top. Yeah, it looks good. This is, this little thing here. I need to use a better color. That thing there is that thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's have this close her eyes. If I could draw closing eyes correctly. I like my mouth just a little bit like that. Okay, good.
And with that, it kind of merged with this cookie's personality as well. He likes using his powers for no good. He just uses it for fun, just to get a quick laugh out of some cookies. He doesn't care if he hurts anybody. As long as it's entertaining him, he'll do whatever he wants in his power. Some features that this cookie and Sibalba from the Book of Life share is that if he looks at you in the eyes, then he could tell what your greatest fear is. So naturally, he uses that to his advantage to make bets with cookies that he obviously cheats in to win. Other than messing around with cookies, he actually can do his job, which is just taking care of the dead. However, he only takes care of those who have been forgotten by their families.
The design was kind of complicated. I kind of was aiming for a pumpkin pie based theme because they're both pumpkins to be exact. And I went up with the seeds being somewhere around their body, which would be useful for something else, but not to the point that it's kind of like their main thing or whatever.
So Apple Gourd was a lost soul to the... Yes, again, the Republic. I love the Creme Republic, okay? Come on, spare me the sympathy, please! Well, technically speaking, they lived within the Republic, but they voyaged out to visit other kingdoms when they were alive. However, one unfortunate night of Halloween, Apple Gourd was cursed by someone, placed under a spell to become a ghost who consumes nothing anything but candy. Of course, given they love sweets, they were slightly happy over this. Why were they only slightly happy? Because they tried to eat the candies, but they can't.
I also tried to put a veil in her forehead, but I decided to eliminate it because it looked weird, and so I just put the flower she had at the beginning. But I also put the veil on her back. Then it was her pet, which was just simply a fan covering in strawberry jam. Yeah.
Now all that's left is the finishing touches. But as you might notice from the past OvenDraw videos, I always tweak the design before rendering it.
For Delicata Cookie, the design process, I went wild with it and just went along with my gut as to design it as I went with the drawing process. I didn't know, I still don't know how to draw digital art, so I just went wild and just did whatever I could. Music, pumpkins, I just had to connect it. Her name, Delicata, also could mean delicate, so I tended to actually circle her personality around that, as she's one delicate little cookie who lives in the woods and is lonely and just needs friends.
Moving on to the pet, I was thinking originally of making a wool ball, however, I wasn't able to make it look proper, and I'm on a time crunch, so I wasn't going to bother. My second thought was to dye a cotton ball like a pumpkin. This actually ended up being pretty cute. I added a little tape thread to the stem and was about to give it googly eyes instead of mismatched button eyes, with a similar shade to the cookie. I topped it off with stitched mouth and now we're done.
I feel like it complemented the character, and upon this, I decided that my character will be a mixture of a model and a boxer. Later on, I decided that instead of a boxer, a wrestler would be better, however I still had a boxer design as an alternative. Their wrestler's name is White. They are basically a fashion designer during the day and a wrestler during the night. And the name of this cookie is Boa Pumpkin Cookie. I singled out Boa and Pumpkin from the original pumpkin name because it feels like it's the most relevant.
And his skill is basically just throwing a pumpkin right at you. And when that happens, it just stuns you for a bit, because it's like, oh my gosh, this little child just threw his head at me. Golly gee. And I just think it would just stun them for a bit, so I like to think that maybe this cookie's an ambush. Like, it just fits. Just a little ambush cookie is like a ghost scare. And for the crab skill, I guess it would just pinch you or something. I'm not really sure. I don't know what pets do, really. They should really tell us what the pet. I have Kingdom only, I don't know.
Alright, I need to check the name of the pumpkin again. Let's just write out the name of the pumpkin so you know how to pronounce it. Roll with the Toms. Something. Oh my god. Why did I draw this cookie? I mean this pumpkin. My luck lately has been really bad. Well, except for the BTS, but you know, that's irrelevant for the most part. I'm just saying in general. There's a lot of things lately that's been a bit of a bother to me. A lot of the luck lately for me. I don't know why.
In the overall design, I tried getting inspired from Book of Life, Siwalwa, and the gourd as well. As you can tell, I like putting a lot of green and blacks and the spots that the gourd has on it. I forgot to mention that in the Book of Life, Siwalwa has a two-headed snake, which is what he uses to kill people. So sad.
As you could probably tell, this character really is small compared to other cookies that I made in the past. But basically, the main motto for this character is that they are dead. They kind of will stay dead for the remainder of whatever lifespan that they have.
So they possess other cookies to consume any candy until they feel full. However, they refuse to possess multiple cookies as it makes them weak. Once every spooky season, they possess multiple cookies to feast on their candies or anything sweet they can find.
And so that pumpkin rice finished, I'm gonna talk about a little bit about her story. So the thing, she's a ghost. She died in a fire.
But then she took revenge on the cookies after what they did to her, making them leaving the village forever.
But then a divine told her that she will never rest unless someone loves her for all the things she do to the village. So she's been like centuries there waiting for someone to not be scared of herself, which in the end she ended up getting.
Anyways, my thought process came very clear when I was just thinking of this character. It was very fun to experiment with the blacks and the greens, seeing how they fade in with each other. And that's it. This cookie's name is Speckled Swan Gourd Cookie. I'll see you then, I guess.
And yeah, that's about it. Here's the final design, and I hope you enjoy.
You've got mail.
I'm done here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this OvenDrawing, and I'm gonna be back at episode 4. Yay! Bye. Commission Echo, please.
Anyways, so I do have some plans for Apple Gourd, especially considering this Kingdom vs. Halloween special I have. So that ends my... Wait, huh?
And I think it looks great for a Tondo pumpkin cookie. Look at the finished product, so cute.
And that's kind of all the thing I have to say. And here she is, Pumpkin Bright Cookie. I had so much fun drawing her, and I'm really happy with the result. I hope everyone's cookies look so beautiful. And I think that's the only thing I'm going to say. I just say good luck, everyone. And if we got another OvenDraw, I hope to make voice because I don't want to make it again. Anyway, I hope you like it.
Recalled by the family, there could be dancing and singing in the endless ballroom. Who could that be? I wonder. Okay, here she is. Hope you like her.
So as you can see here, this is the final sketch, and here is Uchikikuri Tengu Cookie's final design. This Tengu Cookie is a naughty but powerful little creature that uses their magical abilities not to do evil like Tengus do, but to prank on humans every year during the month of October. But if you serve them a big bowl of red curry squash soup, perhaps they won't prank you. Maybe. Who knows? So that's it for this episode of OvenDraw. I will come back in the next episode with a surprise. Bye bye!
Reem Unicorn Cookie at your servitude. Thank you for listening about our adventures here in OvenDraw Land. It was fun meeting you.
Thank you so much for watching, y'all. And happy Halloween! Boo!
I had a lot of fun making this design, and I really hope you liked it. I really wish I could have made a better voiceover, but I was recording this on the last day and had a sore throat. Anyway, this is all from me. Peace.
Boa, in my opinion, I think it would relate to both fashion and wrestling because a boa is a scarf in fashion and is used commonly to be fabulous, which is related to boa pumpkin cookie's fashion side, and also a boa constrictor snake, which they're known for its powerful muscles to suffocate its prey, which is related to their wrestling side. Anyways, here is the final. Thank you for having me. Till next time, goodbye.
Yeah, that's basically all of the lore I thought of for now. I might do a little bit more later, but these are just the down basics. And as we go into the more colory phase where I do shading and highlighting, I just want to thank you all for watching this. Thank you to the Cookie Run Together server for being a thing, because I'm genuinely having a good time in there and I enjoy hanging out with all the people in there. So yeah, have a great day everyone, and have a happy Halloween. Yuck, 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 yuck.
Alright, so that's my cookie rug with the Tompus. I was pronounced or something. Not much, very basic, but I think it portrayed the pumpkin well enough. The others are probably doing a lot better than me, so you should focus on them more, because this part is just me rambling on and on about my drawing skill and me just ending the video right here. So yeah, happy Halloween. I guess my country really doesn't celebrate Halloween, so I don't get to go trick-or-treat or really know what it's like. But if your country does, then have fun with Halloween, however it is celebrated. And nothing much else to say. Maybe look out for the next OvenDraw that's already being hosted right now, which is about birthstones or something, I think. You should join before it's too late, so we can make another video out of this. It's really fun making these videos, even though it really doesn't get much views. Then again, I'm just rambling on and on again. So yeah. Alright, I guess that's all. Once again, happy Halloween, and I'll see you in the next fan of OvenDrawing. Goodbye!